Once, in the heart of the English countryside, there was a quaint town called Milford. It was a place filled with stories whispered among villagers, tales that sent shivers down their spines. This narrative unfolded one chilling Friday evening when I, a mere teenager of 13, found myself returning home from school. My excitement stemmed from a planned hunting expedition. You see, I've always been drawn to the thrill of hunting, especially at the sprawling estate we frequented, nestled in the Woodlands of Milford. The memories of that place were etched in my mind, a cherished legacy passed down from my grandpa to my father and then to me. Our hunting parties comprised a few other individuals, including the family who owned the estate. Packed and prepared, we ventured forth, entering the deer season, my most cherished time of the year. As dusk settled, we arrived at the estate, the darkness enveloping the 300 acres of land. The campsite, a humble shack barely larger than a bedroom, held within it a blend of comfort and eerie tales. Despite its limited amenities and the occasional snake encounter, it was our sanctuary during these hunting expeditions. That evening, gathered around the crackling campfire, laughter filled the air until an otherworldly scream pierced the night, chilling us to the bone. It reverberated through the woods, a sound that none of us could identify. The ranch owner, spurred by concern, urged us to investigate. With an old ATV at our disposal, we scoured the perimeter, yet found nothing. The unsettling scream lingered, haunting my thoughts even as the night waned. The impending dawn only added to my anxiety. I felt an unexplained dread, a fear that gripped me tightly. My grandfather dropped me off at the hunting blind, leaving me alone in the darkness. As I ascended the ladder, a primal unease gripped me, a residue of the eerie events from the night before. When I peered through the night vision sight, expecting to behold a majestic deer, what I saw was a distorted figure, humanoid yet grotesque, heading towards the woods. Its unsettling appearance froze me in terror. And then, it turned to face me. The ensuing scream mirrored the ghastly sound from the previous night, amplifying my fear. Frenzied, I discharged rounds from my weapon, an attempt to ward off this nightmarish entity. As the echo of gunfire faded, I realized the figure had vanished, leaving no trace behind. Upon sharing my harrowing encounter with my father and grandfather, I learned they, too, had heard the chilling screams. Despite returning to the estate for subsequent hunts, the tranquility had dissipated. I couldn't shake the fear that this shapeless entity might reappear, disrupting the serenity of our once-beloved hunting grounds. To this day, the memory of that night remains etched in my mind, a shapeless horror that defies explanation. The woods of Milford hold secrets, and I've learned that some fears are beyond comprehension, lurking in the shadows, forever shapeless yet profoundly haunting. It was a routine day at the daycare where I worked, maintaining the facility and ensuring everything was in order. As the evening descended and the kids and staff had left for the day, I was left alone to finish up the day's tasks. It was a typical Friday. Bob, the older worker and sort of my supervisor, had left early as he usually did. My duties were clear: clean up the classrooms, pack away the Thanksgiving decorations, and start bringing up the crates of Christmas decorations from the basement. The daycare was part of a Catholic school, and the building had its own eerie feel, especially the basement, dimly lit with sparse lighting. As I trudged down to the basement, the only sound echoing was that of my footsteps. The darkness down there contrasted sharply with the bustling day hours earlier. The basement, normally storing outdoor toys, now held a foreboding silence. One by one, I carried the Thanksgiving containers downstairs, leaving them close to the entrance lazily, eager to finish and start my weekend. As I began hauling the Christmas crates up, a faint, muffled child's voice and laughter reached my ears. I halted, scanning every room, but there was no one there. The basement remained unchecked. Curiosity and concern drove me back to the basement door. Moments of eerie silence were pierced by an odd noise downstairs. Instinctively, I descended, shouting, thinking one of the kids might have sneaked in. The sight below sent chills down my spine. A toy car moved on its own, a clear sign of recent activity. I called out, but the silence that followed was chilling. I scoured every container, doubting a child could hide or close them from the inside. Alone yet feeling an inexplicable presence, I heard a plastic item fall behind me. Without looking, I sprinted upstairs, slamming the basement door shut. A childlike whisper sent me into a panicked call to Bob, then to 911, out of sheer dread. Police arrived, only to find an empty basement devoid of any child. No traces of anything out of the ordinary. No explanation for the inexplicable sounds and movements. Their departure left me unsettled, quitting my job, unable to face the basement's haunting mysteries again. There was a lingering sense of inexplicable dread, an unknown entity lingering within the shadows of that basement, a shapeless horror that no one else seemed to comprehend or believe. The air of excitement surrounded us as my friends and I geared up to explore the notorious, haunted Hill House during its final year of operation. Nestled in a makeshift parking area, this pop-up haunted attraction had gained notoriety for its chilling scare tactics. We arrived on a quiet Thursday night, our college-free Fridays serving as the perfect excuse for this eerie adventure. Surprisingly, the ticket line was minimal, and as we reached the entrance, we discovered they were allowing only one person in at a time. We playfully pushed our friend Michael to lead the way, but as he disappeared into the darkness beyond the door, a sense of unease crept over me. My turn arrived, and the door creaked open, leading me into a world illuminated by flickering lights and gruesome props. Navigating through the macabre displays, I encountered actors in terrifying costumes, successfully startling me at every corner. Yet, what awaited me in the darkness was beyond the scripted horrors. In a dim corridor, I felt an unexpected push from behind, followed by a tall figure looming ahead. Initially dismissing it as part of the act, I allowed the figure to guide me further into the blackness. But as the moment stretched, I sensed something was amiss. Hands grabbed me in an unsettling manner, prompting my instinctive pushback and verbal protest. Silence enveloped the space, and I realized this was no staged scare tactic. Defying the rule against phone usage, I activated my flashlight, revealing a storage room cluttered with props. Amidst the eerie chaos stood a tall man, clad in black with a mask obscuring part of his face. Fear gripped me as I sought the exit, navigating back through the obscure halls toward safety. Encountering another actor, I disclosed the violation, desperately seeking the attraction's management. With no clear resolution, I hastened through the haunted corridors, determined to escape the nightmare unfolding within the attraction's walls. Reuniting with my bewildered friends, I headed to the ticket stand, demanding to speak to the manager. However, his absence and the subsequent incident shared by a college acquaintance on social media unraveled a grim truth. The haunting experience of sexual assault paralleled mine, leading to charges against the attraction's owner. The staff denied any association with the aggressor, sparking disbelief and raising questions about the attraction's security measures. The haunting memories of that night lingered, leaving a chilling reminder of the shapeless horrors that lurk in the darkness, hidden beneath the guise of entertainment.